Coverage you can count on continues with Glenn Marini's Sports 15 report.
There have been 2 times where a Fort Wayne native has managed a big league ball club. Eric Wedge with the Indians from 2003 to 2009, and Eric Wedge with the Mariners this season. Given his baseball history and his above and beyond efforts to stay involved with Fort Wayne charities, we decided now would be a good time to catch up with him on his new job. So we trekked up to Tiger Country and caught up with him during a recent road trip in Detroit. Here's the first in my 2-part conversation, Summit City to Seattle. When you take a look at your history coming up through Wallen baseball and through Fort Wayne and playing in kind of the Northrop heyday, what is it about Fort Wayne and the mentality of growing up in that town that's kind of helped you succeed and bring kind of that workman-like, even-keel attitude to Major League Baseball?
Well, I do believe in being even-keel and not getting too high or too low. I think you have to do that in baseball. But I just think that I think Fort Wayne's a tough town, with tough people living in it. When I talk about tough, I'm not just talking about just physical toughness. I'm talking about mental toughness and handling the ups and downs of life and and just and coming together when you need to come together. And that's what a baseball team needs to do. And I had a lot of fantastic teachers in my growing up, and of course my mom and dad led the way with that. But I had a lot of great teachers, a lot of great coaches that helped me along the way. And the one common denominator I think in all that was they were tough.
You were 35 years old when you were named the manager in Cleveland. A young guy, his first job as a Major League manager. What do you take away from that experience that now allows you to be an even better manager in your second job in the big league?
Well, I'm not going through everything for the first time this time around. I went through a lot, in Cleveland. So there's just so many things that I feel even that much more confident about in regard to my approach, because I do tweak a little bit here and there in regard to what I did the first time around. I do change things a little bit, but a lot of it's the same. Respecting the game and being a good teammate and doing the things you need to do out here, that'll never change. But there were some things that I did the first time around that I'm not doing this time around, some things that I didn't do that I am doing. So all those things help.
What's more difficult? Your daughter born in 2006, your son was born in 2008. Is it tougher to manage a group of 25 major leaguers or the Wedge household?
Well, I probably have to say the 25 major leaguers, but the Wedge household can get a little bit crazy every now and again. But my wife Kate's been great. We've moved out to Seattle. We bought a home there. Ava's going to be going to kindergarten in the fall. And Cash sits up in the stands for every game and watches with Mom, and while Ava's down in the playroom. So we're a family. And Seattle's our home now, and the kids have been great. They don't know anything else but to get in a plane and fly and travel all over the place. So they're well adjusted. What
did the year out of managing baseball give you? What was that like, and what do you think you maybe learned during that process?
Well, I think my perspective. I think that I always felt like I had a pretty decent perspective when it comes to the game and managing baseball and life. But really stepping away from for the first time in the summer since before I was at Wallen, really, when I was 8, 9 years old. So it's the first time I ever looked at the game from that perspective, and I think I see it through different eyes now. And so I think it was a smart thing for me to do, emotionally, physically, mentally, to stay away. And obviously, the real reason I did it was just to spend more time with my family for a year, and that was the greatest gift ever.
And coming up later tonight, we'll hear the second part of our conversation as Eric talks about the coach in Fort Wayne that made a difference and is still making a difference in his life. And he answers the question you're probably asking yourself, what's the deal with that mustache? All that tonight at 11 o'clock. We'll be right back.